Hello, world. What's up, guys? This is Dave Van Auken with the Fight Bananas podcast. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing out there? You know us. We're ready to toe that line day in and day out. So we're going to have a Bare-Knuckle FC fighter, Brian Maxwell, on the show. We almost talked to him right before Bare-Knuckle FC 8. Stuff happens and we just missed it, but he's getting ready. Bare-Knuckle FC 10, February 15th, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's about to toe the line once again, so we're about to talk to Brian. But before we talk to Brian Maxwell, guys, go to right now. You can pause the podcast, or maybe you're listening to it on the phone, swipe up so you can go to your Internet Explorer, all that good stuff, right? Or tell a friend, tell a neighbor, all that. Go to the Florida MMA Awards.com. The Florida MMA Awards.com. That's easy enough, right? Do it, scroll down, and then, you hit that go vote button, right? You vote, and there's a media source. Like, what was the best media source for mixed martial arts? Whoa, what do you see there? Fight Bananas is a part of it. We're honored to be nominated. So there you go, guys. Vote. Vote once. Vote often. Like I said, tell a friend, tell some neighbors, and send the link around. Share that thing, man. Guys, the Florida MMA Awards.com. Be pretty cool. If I get an award, we're going to put it here in the studio. We love the studio. Right next to me, hanging out with Georgie Masvidal. I got the on-air sign. I got all my gear from Fusion CBD products. Put in that promo code FIGHT20 for 10% off everything of your purchase. 2019 Florida MMA Awards, guys. Go vote. Fight Bananas. We appreciate it. What big news, real quick before Brian, how about Thiago, the Pitbull, Alves, signing with Bare-Knuckle FC? We broke it. The article up on FightBananas.com, an unprecedented 3-fight deal. It is humongous, mega deal. Thiago had options, one of the best welterweights in the history of combat sports, and he decides to toe the line. So he got a great deal, and that's awesome. That gives me great hope for all the fighters for Bare-Knuckle FC, who, you never know, Brian Maxwell might get one of these deals, a couple wins under his belt. There's so much I want to talk to him about. Bare-Knuckle FC 8, put that behind him. Bare-Knuckle FC, we're coming up on 10. I'm talking to him about 2020, middleweights, tournament, scoreboard, so much. So, guys, here we go. Let's talk to our guy, Brian Maxwell. All right, guys, on the Fight Bananas hotline, my main man, Brian Maxwell. How you doing, my man?
Pretty good by yourself.
Man, doing real good, man. We're grinding. How's good? You had a good Christmas, good 2020 to the start?
Oh, yeah, so far so good.
So far so good. All right, you ready? You ready to toe that line? February 15th, BKFC 10?
Always. I'm ready. I've been working on some new stuff and staying on the grind, so I'm definitely ready for it.
Right. I see old, mixed martial artists now, toeing the line a little bit. Bare-Knuckle FC 8 was your first time in there. Was it like not like a shelter shock, but was it different, or was it a totally different feel? No gloves, all that stuff, or it's like next time you're gonna be ready, or it's like no, it is what it is, and that's the fight game.
I mean, I've taken a walk to the cage and the boxing ring a lot of times, and I mean it was kind of the same, but it was different. I haven't been in front of that big of a crowd,
right,
and stuff in a long time, and I mean I can say I was a little nervous, like everyone is when they got their debuting somewhere, and I had those jitters until I toed the line, and then after that, I was pretty good after that. But
right.
The fight didn't end the way I wanted it to. But I realized what I needed to work on in that fight, and like I tell everyone right now, I've been in the lab working, and I realized my mistakes and what I'm going to show improvement on this next fight coming up.
Right. And we'll get into that. But right before, we love it, man. We're big superhero fans here on the podcast, and always the first one, the best, is the origin story. So how did you get into MMA? How did you get into boxing and Bare-Knuckle FC? How did that transition happen? So kind of give everyone here at Fight Bananas a little bit of your origin story of how you got in the fight game.
Well, my origin story is basically, I was in college, and, I wrestled in college at the NAIA level, and I just happened to be chilling with my roommates one night in my dorm, and the UFC fights came on. I had never watched a UFC fight a day in my life, and I've always heard about it, but I didn't really,
What was that fight? Who was on?
The main event that night was Anderson Silva.
Okay.
So me watching him, that instantly became, my favorite fighter.
Right.
Back in 2007. So I was like, this interests me a little bit. So, I went on, with my college time and wrestling and stuff. And then, after college, I dibbled and dabbled around, and life happened for about 2 years out of college. And then one day I just decided that, I've been thinking about doing mixed martial arts and getting into it. And I was like, you know what, I'm finally going to try to pursue it. And, I just happened to be right. It was actually happened like right before my son was born. I just happened to be on the internet. Ruckus in the Cage was real popular in my area, and I seen they, had upcoming fights. So I was like, I'm going to sign up for this and see what happens.
Right.
Because, at that point in time, I knew nothing about the fight business and any of it. I just started watching in 2007, like I said. And so it really interests me. So, I filled out the form, and in less than 24 hours, the promoter / matchmaker called me back and was like, yeah, I can get you a fight. And he gave me a name, and, I didn't care who it was. So I was like, sure, I'm happy about it. So I took it.
Wow. That's crazy. What a crazy story. Brian Maxwell on Instagram, Little B Dog 106. And I was checking you out. Are you? That's cool. They have the Bare-Knuckle FC. They have the trading cards, and you're signing them out.
Yes, sir.
That's dope.
I got my trading cards at BKFC 8. I was part of the first batch of guys and girls that got there. So that's really exciting. I was kind of holding back on posting mine because not everybody had them yet. So, once I started seeing everybody this past week or so posting theirs, I was like, let me post mine on my Instagram and
right,
and check out the wave I get on there. I'm actually going to upload it on Facebook later on today and stuff. So
okay, for sure. That's like, for me, that's as a kid, right? Like, I remember the bubble gum, the baseball cards, and like everyone, I think, in life sooner or later wants their own like action figure, or they want their own card or wrestling card or baseball card. And I saw that, I was like, man, that's pretty dope. That's cool. Bare-Knuckle FC, they're doing crazy things. They're so young. And they just, I'm so impressed with Dave Feldman, and their 2019 and 2020 is just going to be epic for you guys.
This year is going to be an epic year, and I got that dream too, also to have an action figure one day. If I get an action figure, that is definitely on my bucket list, and my life would be just about complete if I ever got an action figure. I would definitely love that. There you
go. What do you think? Are you a fan of when Bare-Knuckle FC, when they do like the tournaments? The weight class. I know they're doing the lightweight. That's actually starting at Bare-Knuckle FC 10, February 15th in Fort Lauderdale. Would you like to maybe do a middleweight one, maybe mid-year or towards the end of the year? Would you like the tournament style?
Yeah, I love tournament style. Okay. Everything. Of course, I wrestled, so everything I've done like every weekend was tournament style. I definitely love tournament style, and I once fought in a tournament style deal back when I first started in mixed martial arts. My 5th fight, I got, I had a pretty decent record, and I got entered into a 205 Emmy tournament, and I ended up fighting twice one night, and that was awesome to me.
Yeah.
So the style is definitely something I'm looking forward to, but I'm one of those guys. I'm taking it one fight in one training camp at a time to try to prove myself and get these dubs. And, if they want me in the tournament, I'll be most definitely glad to do it because, at the end of the day, I do want to be a Bare-Knuckle FC champion.
Right,
just like anybody. class.
If you're not in the game to be a champion, it's just kind of, it's tough. It's like, why are you in the game, right? Like it's championship or bust. I always feel like if you're any kind of action fighter.
Facts. I tell people that all the time. Like, most people are in it for the money. When you first start out, the money is not all that great in mixed martial arts, boxing, or any sport in general, But if you're not in it for the love of the game and to be a champion, why do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to be a champion and you don't want to put that work in to be a champion, why do it? Why do it just to say you did it? You feel what I'm saying?
Right. I feel you. One thread we've had on the podcast for, over the years now, and it's starting to really pick up steam, especially with Bare-Knuckle. Something we brought up with Dave Feldman. We talked about MMA. It's just, for one, now it's 2020. Football, Super Bowl is about to happen. They got a scoreboard. You see the score. So when the Patriots are making that comeback on the Falcons, you're like, wow, you can see the comeback happening. I'm thinking that Bare-Knuckle FC needs a scoreboard. Don't change the score and how you score and judges and all that. But after the round one, you got red corner or blue corner, 1-0. Boom, or 10-9, whatever you want to do it. So if you're in a 3-round fight and you think you're winning, maybe you're not. Maybe the judges see it one way. And I always say the best analogy I give is, if you're in the clinch game and you're doing work in the clinch game and you think you're doing, work, and the other guy has a couple nice slick jabs, and they give that round to the other fighter, you're like, okay, crap. Well, I got to change up the clinch game. The judges aren't seeing that way. I think, and then the negative I heard, especially in mixed martial arts, they said fighters would run away, maybe the last round, maybe they would. But in Bare-Knuckle FC, you can't do that. For one, it's a one-punch knockout. Feldman doesn't like anyone walking back. It's always walking forward. So I think the Bare-Knuckle FC scoreboard would be perfect. How about you?
I mean,
Okay.
There's positives about it and negatives about it, because the biggest negative to me would be, of course, someone, if it's in clear sight that you can see it, someone is either going to run away, and of course Bare-Knuckle doesn't like to run away, but that person will chill for a round, or if he or she sees that they're up, or if they think that it's semi-close and they feel like they got the edge, maybe they'll back off a little bit and do the bare minimum instead of banging it out and doing what you're supposed to do to get the win. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's the only negative I think about it. But the positive would be, have it in your coach's view, so your coach can be like, I think it would help your corner better to analyze your situations in the fight to be able to tell you what to do.
Yeah, I feel that. That's what I'm saying, too. Like, I think after round one, your coaches can say, okay, the judges are really slighting the jab. Just like in football, hey, if they're not calling pass interference, get a little thick, in the secondary. You can push away. So I just think it would be helpful. And then I always think, the more you get the audience, the crowd involved, after round one and round two, if they see it's 1-1, I think that round three will just be like, the crowd will be into it. And, and I do get you. And I say you're negative. I do. And I think about it, and it might be a negative. Then that might be something to take back. But I feel like you just, especially in Bare-Knuckle FC, you just can't slow down. You can't kind of hesitate or can't kind of run away. It's just part of the game. I don't think that would work. So I don't know. I would love to see it maybe going forward. This upcoming year, if they take that, I would be a fan of it for sure. Another thing real quick is, so the main event, Bare-Knuckle FC 10, is Hector Lombard, a stud, combat athlete, legend. I don't know if you saw the news the last couple of days. They just signed Thiago Alves. He's coming now to toe the line, Bare-Knuckle FC. How cool is it to be underneath that umbrella? They're signing superstars, they're signing studs, and just the momentum right now for Bare-Knuckle is just on fire.
Man, I think it's a blessing to be even a part of this, any show, or even attending the show. Like, I would have never thought in years that something like this would even be in the United States, or me being a fight card in general. Like, it's fucking awesome. And those bigger names and me being on the same card as those guys it's just fucking a blessing. And I feel honored to be here and all that good stuff.
Right. That's awesome, man. It's just, And we're excited to see who's next. Like, I don't think the momentum's not stopping. When they signed a couple guys late, with Artem and Jason Knight, and then Jim Allers came, and then the Hector came. It was like, wow, now they got Thiago. I feel like in spring and summer, they're just going to get more and more and more. It's crazy. But, man, to kind of wrap up the show, I got 10 questions. People love this segment. We call it Going Bananas here on the podcast. They can be real quick answers, or you can go into a story, whatever you want. All right, my man?
Yes, sir.
All right. Number one. What's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve is what I said earlier. If you're not in this sport to win and be a champion, don't do it at all.
I respect that. Who's your favorite movie character of all time?
My favorite movie character of all time? Probably Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Oh, okay. I like that one, too. And this might go with it. That's funny. What was the last Halloween costume you wore?
Last Halloween costume I ever wore, I dressed up like my first year out of college. I went to a Halloween party, and I was like, I'm going to try something different. So I dressed up as a skateboarder. I had my Vans on, my skinny jeans, and a little tight tee, and my hat backwards, and yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, my goodness. Who's your all-time favorite teacher, like a teacher that changed your life?
Most definitely a teacher that changed my life. She died a couple years ago. Her name was Miss Minix. She introduced me to the game of hockey. Not many people know that. I'm a semi-big hockey fan. Okay. And, the first hockey game I ever went to was a Roanoke Avalanche game. And it was awesome. And she helped me out a lot. I was in that age. I was in third grade. I was pretty bad. I was always getting kicked out of school all the time, getting in trouble for little stuff. And,
right.
She sat me down and was like, I'm going to talk to your parents. Well, basically my mom. And, she took us to field trips and stuff to hockey games. And that was awesome. And, she told me, if you want to, achieve, you got to do better. You got to go after something. And if you want it, be a go-getter.
Right.
And till this day, I stick by that. I'm a go-getter. I seize any opportunity and every opportunity given.
Right. For sure. I respect that, man. That's awesome. What everyday thing do you get excited about every single day?
One, waking up every day, and two, being able to do what I do in training and getting to have these fights and stuff is something that I would never imagine myself doing. But like I said, I'm blessed to be able to have gotten this far and do everything I've done till this point.
Man, okay. What's your number one favorite item in your closet?
My shoes.
What kind? You got the J's?
Yes, all kinds of J's. I've got J's from 4, 5, 6 years ago that I've probably only worn maybe once or twice. And some still brand new in the box.
Oh, my goodness. I love it. What's your lucky number?
12.
In his prime, Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali?
Oh, man. Well, since I grew up watching Mike Tyson, but also I grew up, looking back at Muhammad Ali throwbacks, I would say Mike Tyson because pound for pound, I think he's the best boxer that ever lived.
Wow.
There's no man. Mike Tyson in his prime, I don't even think Deontay Wilder would have lasted 1 to 2 rounds with Mike Tyson.
Tyson, yeah, for sure. I'm a big Tyson guy, but my favorite boxer of all time is Roy Jones Jr. I love it. What weight classes, his style. I'm a Roy Jones Jr. guy for sure. Last one for you, Brian Maxwell, Bare-Knuckle FC 10. We cannot wait, February 15th. What's your absolutely dream fight? Is there a fighter out there? Is there a venue? Is there something? Is it in Bare-Knuckle? Is it in MMA? Is there something? Anderson Silva, you saw him for the first time. Would you love his retirement fight? What's your all-time dream fight?
My all-time dream fight that would involve myself?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
My all-time dream fight that would involve myself would be me versus John Jones.
Woo!
That was my all-time favorite dream fight, even though I know it would never happen, but if it ever happened, one, I'd feel blessed to be a part of it, and two, that's like my second favorite fighter of all time, so that would be awesome too.
That's awesome, man. John Jones. Well, Brian, man, we're excited for you, Fight Bananas. We cannot wait. We're going to be out there February 15th, Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be sunny. It's not cold down here in Florida. Life is good. Bare-Knuckle FC 10 and more. We can't wait to see you in the future. Brian, man, we appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
All right, brother. There it was, guys. The Brian Maxwell Fight Bananas podcast interview. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. Wow. I like his style. Talking about the Jays. How about Brian Maxwell wearing Jordans inside the circle, the square circle? That'd be the first, right? Guys, Brian Maxwell, Bare-Knuckle FC 10, it's coming up. I'm telling you guys, make sure to go to Bare-KnuckleFC.tv. Check out all the great stuff. It's kind of funny. You know what I think is on that website is, Bare-Knuckle.tv is our interview with David Feldman. That's still on there. What a great main event. They got it for February 15th, Fort Lauderdale. Hector Lombard versus David Mundelli. Wow. Love it. Love it. All right, guys, Brian Maxwell, show him a lot of love on the IG, Facebook, follow him. Give all of our sponsors a ton of love. I'm talking about Fusion CBD products, Fight 2020 for 10% off. I'm talking about Warhammer Fightwear. Check out warhammerfightwear.com or check them out on the Amazon app. Instill Nutrition, the best supplements in the game, period. Check them out. I'm telling you, if you're a Bare-Knuckle FC fighter, if you're an amateur fighter, if you're a dad of 4, whatever you are, make sure you check out those supplements at nstillnutrition.com. And Makotech mouth guards. See, they're always on my mind to start the show, and then when it gets going, it's like, oh man, no guys, you definitely need a mouth guard if you're a bare knuckle fighter. Makotech mouth guards, the absolute best in the industry. And last but not least, put that vote. All right, our founding fathers struggled for us to be able to vote. Here's our time. Go to the Florida MMA Awards.com. Vote for the best media source. We're a media source, but they haven't had best podcast, but we're that too. So best media source podcast. We're giving you content galore, and content is king. Big ups to Brian Maxwell. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Support him, support Fight Bananas, and continue blessings to everyone out there. Continue success, and just stay bananas.